Hello there. Yeah, hello. My name is Ted. I'm senior game designer at War Robots, and today I'm going to talk about transmedia storytelling. What is it? What to consider when creating it? And first of all, I want to ask you, raise your hands who know what is transmedia storytelling. Well, not many. So anyway, I need to explain what it is. So transmedia storytelling is a way to tell story when you use several different media to create one big fictional world or one big story. The important thing about it that each medium in this storytelling has its own place in your full story. You can think of it as this graph when on the world timeline there are different products that have its own place in it. What can be part of transmedia? Well, actually, anything that has at least bits of narrative. It can be movies, games, TV series, books, and etc., etc. Even your action figures can be part of your transmedia storytelling if the action figure describes the character. Let's talk a bit about the history of transmedia as a term. The term appeared in 2003. It was created by this happy guy called Henry Jenkins. He's a culturologist and he has a bunch of works on the topic. But the intentional usage of this technique started earlier. For example, in 80s, you could find some games based on Star Wars, and in Japan, in 90s, they made a mix strategy where they used anime and games to create one big world. But if you think deeper, the roots of transmedia storytelling, you can find them in ancient Greek. You can think of it, you are a person, ancient Greek person, you heard some myth about Zeus, for example, and then you go to theater and see the play about Zeus, and then you go and see the vase with the picture of Zeus, and this is a big story of your gods that you can find in different media. And nowadays, actually, almost any creative industry use this technique, and the mobile gaming industry. As I'm working in mobile gaming, I will tell about transmedia mostly from the perspective of mobile gaming. At this point, you can ask me, like, Ted, why do you even talk about this? You're a game designer. This is not what game designers do. Well, there are several reasons why I talk about it. First of all, I love transmedia. I'm the person who is easily involved in fictional world by small stories, and then I'm ready to buy books and spend a lot of time to discover the things in this world. Secondly, it was the topic of my bachelor thesis. Yes, who said that your bachelor work, you don't need it? Yes, you need it sometimes. When I made it, I read a bunch of studies and non-fiction on the topic. So I have some theoretical knowledge. Finally, I take part in creating transmedia storytelling. We have our own transmedia narrative on War Robots, and I'm not the man in charge of it. But still, we have some sort of council with game designers, producers, and community managers in it who discuss our ways to tell the story in the game and out of the game. A few words about our War Robots universe. For the moment, we have 3 video games, one of which is War Robots, the top one mobile tactical shooter. We have 3 CGI videos, we have 2D cartoons, comics, and a full season of audio drama. And that was a lot of work through, I think, 4 years of existence of our transmedia. So back to the topic. For better understanding of what transmedia is, we need to understand what transmedia is not. There are several terms that are usually confused with transmedia storytelling. First of all, transmedia is not adaptation and vice versa. Adaptation is using the same IP for creating a brand new story, while transmedia saves the continuity among all the stories you are telling. For example, I hope that most of you know something about Warcraft. On the right part, we have two characters, both are Durathan. One is Durathan from the movie, one is Durathan from the game. But these Durathans are different. They have slightly different story. They do not interact with each other, and etc. On the left side, we have the character called Saurfang, and the Saurfang from the game and the Saurfang from the CGI videos are the same character. The story of the game Saurfang continues in the videos, in the books, and etc. Secondly, there are terms multimedia and cross-media that are often usually confused with transmedia. Let's talk about them. Multimedia is a tool when you use one medium to tell story in different ways. For example, games that are mostly multimedia by itself. You can show videos, you can show texts, and something else if you need maybe sound, narrative through sound. For example, in War Robots, we have some sort of environmental storytelling on our locations, but also we have texts of biographies of our pilots and characters in game, so we use different techniques, but they are all in the game. The second one, cross-media. Cross-media is when you use the same story, but in different media. Basically, for example, I'm telling you this presentation, but then I will create an article with almost the same speech, and this will be cross-media. But in games, the most often use of this technique is creating ads. For example, we had the CGI video about this girl, Nessa, and then our advertising team just cut this video and created ads based on the first video we created. Finally, multimedia using different media with different stories. Again, for example, from War Robots, environmental storytelling in the game, this story about the Theseus in video on YouTube, and the audio drama about the team of mercenaries who got stuck together as an audio drama. So to sum up this part of presentation, let's say about main properties, many different media. Secondly, each medium has its own place in your storytelling. And thirdly, altogether, they create one big story or one big world. So let's talk about why do we need it. I will tell you the reasons and some main concepts you need to know to create transmedia storytelling. These are the reasons. I won't tell it to you now because I will go through them later. First of all, to attract and retain the audience. Yes, we know that not all of our potential audience live in games, for example, so we want to expand our universe to the other media to get people from the other media involved in our IP. For better understanding, you need to know this concept of audience pyramid, where on the lower level there are the audience of one product. These are the people who just watched something, for example, one video, they played one game, they read one book. They are not yet involved in your storytelling or your world, so they go out after it. On the medium level, there is an audience of one medium. These people are already involved a bit. They watch all your videos, they play all your games or something else, and but they still don't want to go to the other media to research about your world. And finally, there are transmedia audience. These are the most involved people that want to consume all of your products, no matter in what media they are. So basically, you want to make people go from the lowest part of the pyramid to the top, and not to go back. To do it, you need to create entry points and bridges. Entry points is the product that you create for the audience that don't know your IP. You can think that some products can be entry points, some products cannot, but the best strategy is to be sure that it is easy to understand your product without knowing about your universe at all. So every product must be some sort of entry point. And bridges. Bridges are a motivation to go from one product to another. This can be the same characters, the same locations, the plot lines that started in one product and finished in the other, and etc., etc. Or you can find some other ways. For example, in War Robots, we had an audio drama, and when it released, we wanted to make some bridges to the game. Yes, the characters and the robots in this audio drama were already in the game at that moment, but we wanted something else. And first of all, we made the preloader splash that shows one of the moments of the battle described in audio drama. And secondly, we placed the scratches of the robots that took part in that battle on one of the map that we wanted to be the location of that audio drama. So this you can see, this is a screenshot of a post from one of the social networks where one of our players boasted that he found all of the scraps, and now he can prove that this particular map is the place where the audio drama took place. So now we can go back to attracting and retaining an audience. So you could create entry points to attract your audience. For example, in War Robots, we had the CGI video called Hard Decision. It had everything to be a perfect entry point. It had a cool character, easy to sympathize. It had simple story about self-sacrifice. It has a lot of actions and explosions. Yes, what do you want in the video about big robots that fighting with each other? So this is the most successful video now on our channel with 1.3 million views, and about 40% of these views are organic. So we can say that it attracted some new audience, at least for this video, and maybe for playing the game also. Retaining the audience. We created audio drama to retain the audience, as it was released when we had an in-game release with not a lot of content. So we wanted people something outside of our game to spend time in our universe. So we created an audio drama about mercenaries who got stuck and who got problems, and we had around 100,000 views on every episode. There were 6 episodes, which is quite decent result for this type of medium. Finally, bringing back audience, can be also the goal, as some people can go to the other games, but you want them to come back. And the best ways to achieve this goal is nostalgia and presenting new features. We had the video called Grace Form. It had both of it. First of all, the main character used an old robot that was loved by old players, Raven. And secondly, it presents the new feature, our brand new feature at this time, PvE mode, where people should fight against little hordes of little spiders, mecha spiders. Next one. Next goal is making money from other media. Yes, you can make money from games, but you can make money, for example, from movies or TV shows or selling books, but let's be honest, it works only for Disney. Why? Because it's risky and it requires a lot of investment to create a movie that will have a huge box office, or to create books that people would buy, who buy books now. It's quite rarely, and it also limits the audience. And this is the reason why we make games free to play nowadays, because it's hard to force people pay for something they don't know. At this point, you may think that it's better to invest more in your core medium that you already know how to gain revenue from than trying to get revenue from the other media. And at this point, you have the concept of core and additional media. The core medium is the one that you invest the more and you gain the revenue the most. In War Robots, this medium is the games. We have now 3 games. You can see them on the screen. Additional media is the media to attract and retain audience. Again, we had the videos, audio drama, and etc. And all the ways from additional media must go to your core medium, as everything you want to earn, everything you can earn is in your core medium. Finally, tell a story and expand your universe. This can be also a goal, as a good story make people love your universe and make them spend more time in it. You can ask, like, why don't tell all the stories in the game, for example, if we are talking about the games. That's because every medium has its strengths and weaknesses. For example, video games is best in interaction, maybe in environmental storytelling. It's not good to have videos in games, mostly when you don't allow a person to interact with your world. Books and text stories are good at describing the feelings and the inner world of your character. Well, videos are good at creating action and show some visual aspects. So it's better to think, when creating some transmedia extensions, what are the strengths and the weaknesses of the medium you want to use, or vice versa. You want to use some medium, then you must create a story that emphasize the strengths of this medium and don't show the weakness. What do we do in War Robots? Okay, we have again environmental storytelling. As we are a PvP game, we don't have much stories in it. In our text storytelling in-game, biographies are mostly personal stories of the characters. Bright actions always, there must be bright action in CGI clips and something imaginative in 2D videos. The audio drama is all about dialogues. The funny part of it, in our audio drama, there is a deaf character, but we still managed to make him sound good in it. And in comics, we had some short sketches that are easy to understand and fast to read. So, Some conclusions. First of all, when creating transmedia storytelling, don't count on direct earning from the additional media. Your goal is to earn from your core medium. Create entry points so people can come to your world, and again, you don't know when the people first come across with your products, and make bridges to motivate them go from one product to another, from one medium to the other medium. Don't forget about the strengths and weaknesses of each medium you use. And finally, of course, have fun, because if you don't like what you create, the people won't. Thank you for listening.